Hello lovely people, hope you're all safe and well. Have you ever wondered whether these things here are either curled up pieces of lead or actually Roman curse tablets? Me too. Let's find out. So, welcome back to Notch to 11. Not a digging video this week, sadly. It's Thursday. Ordinarily, I would have been out by now in the fields trying to find some treasure for your delight. It's not happened this week for a couple of reasons. Firstly, the weather in the UK right now is absolutely shocking. Constant rain is stopping play more often than it's not. Add insult to injury. My car's got a puncture as well. I picked up a puncture last weekend, taking my daughter back to university. Long story short, can't get a replacement tyre for whatever reason, so they are coming today, hopefully, to put a new tyre back on the car. As a result, my wife uses our other car for work, so I've just not been able to get out. So I thought I'd use this as a perfect example of seeing whether some curled up bits of lead might just be Roman curse tablets. And I've now found 3 of them over my year and a bit of detecting. They are, for all intents and purposes, just nondescript rolled up bits of lead. But there is a train of thought, and every time I find one of these, somewhere, at least 4 or 5 times in the comments for the video, it will say, maybe that's a Roman curse tablet. So I thought I'd use today, they stare at me, they stare back at me in the cabinet here. Every time I put something in, I see them, and I think, I wonder. So I thought, as I'm not going to get out in the field this week, let's find out. So without further ado then, let's have a look. Let's find out exactly what these things are. Thinking ahead of that, of course, if they turn out to be Roman curse tablets, then maybe I need to say a quick prayer to make sure I negate any of the curse that is coming my way. So let's get that done as well. I won't bore you with that, but let's hope whoever this was cursing, if it is a curse tablet, and whoever cursed them, they are resting in peace, and hopefully they stay that way after I open these curled up bits of lead. Yeah, let's get cracking. See you in a minute. So, what on earth is a Roman curse tablet? Well, obviously, it refers to the Roman period of occupation in Britain, which is, AD 43 to 410-ish. Looking online, there's obviously various trains of thought. I think the biggest ever discovery of Roman curse tablets comes from Bath, which is a well-known, obviously, Roman spa town. And it kind of leads itself to be, obviously, these rolled up pieces of lead and sometimes pewter, with kind of inscriptions kind of scratched into them. And they're mostly, from the Bath perspective anyway, from people who suffered an injustice, asking for wrongs to be put right or for revenge. And they're typically obviously made by ordinary people like you and I, at the loss of, whatever it may be, a loved one, an important item to them, and those types of things. There's also another train of thought that suggests they're a bit more sinister than that, and actually they were designed to, create misfortune, and in some cases worse, things like death and plagues and all those types of things. In terms of the discovery of them in Britain, in the United Kingdom, majority have been found in the West Country, near where Bath is. But there have also been discoveries of these kind of lead curse tablets in and around where I live, in Essex, in the UK. So they've been found in Essex, they've been found in Kent, and they've been found anywhere up the kind of Thames estuary right into London as well. So they're definitely in the right place. They could well be Roman curse tablets. And based on the information I'm reading, Yeah, absolutely. We've got to take a look, haven't we? We've got to find out, are these indeed them? Now, I guess the disclaimer here right up front is that actually, having read all of this and having a look at a lot of the images of those curse tablets, my gut feeling really is they're probably not. Reason being, that is quite thin. Let's just get a measure and tell you. In terms of its width, it's no more than about 3 centimeters. Looking online, most of these curse tablets that have been found are much taller than that, probably almost double the size. So that's my only concern. But having said that, bit of fun, isn't it? Let's find out. Right, so what are we going to use? Well, I've gone to my little watchmaker's or watch repairing kit, and I've got some nice little pliers. I've got a little tool there that should be able to, nice and thin, should be able to get inside the little seal or the edge and get into it without damaging it too much. And I've got a couple of little kind of plier-y type, maybe not that bit, but maybe that bit can help to prise it open. And if that fails, we'll get the big boy tools out and see how we get on. So, okay, without further ado, let's have a go. I've also got a nice cup of Notch to 11 tea as well. Right, so which one should we start with? So we've got two bigger ones in terms of the thickness and the size, and we've got one little one. Now, I think I've got a funny feeling this little one may have come from the day I joined treasure hunting with Tom down on his permission when he was living in Cambridgeshire, where I found my Saxon skeet and my first ever Roman coins. So that's, again, in the right kind of place. So I think we're going to start with this big one. Something about this big one is, I think, in fact, that might have even been the first one that I found. Cool, yeah, so you can get into it. So let's see if we can do it without the need of pliers, first and foremost. Let's just bring you down a sec. I've also got Mrs. R's, Mrs. Marcus's cool, yeah, no, that's well in there. Right, okay. Right, moment of truth. So I haven't even needed to use the pliers. Just by using this little tool here, I've been able to kind of just make a crack through that seal there and get enough into it to be able to unfurl it. So without further ado, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we're now going to find out, if I can find a drum roll, I'm going to add it in. Is this a simple piece of curled up lead, or is it a potential Roman curse tablet? Let's have a look. What have we got there? Not a lot. And I can confirm that the dog's crying in the background, so maybe she knows it's a sign. It's not. That is, I'm going to give it a wash in case there's anything there. I thought for a minute there was an S coming through there. I don't know if you can see that at the end of my thumb, which got me a little bit worried and excited at the same time. But no, I just think that is a strip of lead. Let's give it a clean and have a proper look. Back in a sec. There we have it. The jury is back. The verdict is in. That is a rolled up piece of lead. Okay, so that's number one. I should also mention, of course, we are working with lead. That's just all crumbled out of it as I've unfurled it. You know, lead is poisonous. It's not a nice thing. So I'm keeping my distance while I'm filming this. And for obvious reasons, don't inhale any of that rubbish because it really ain't good for you. Anyway, so that's the first one. Slightly disappointing, but also probably not a surprise. That would suggest the other two are going to be the same. They're broadly the same size. I'm going to do the little thin one next because that one came from pretty much the same spot as I found that one. So I'm thinking this was just rolled up for possibly for a purpose, but definitely not as a curse. Okay, so that's that one. So this is the smaller one. So let me get this unfurled and then I'll be back to you in a sec. Oh, actually, no. So there we go. Another piece of lead. So I think that in conclusion, without doing this one, tells us
that these are, sadly, but probably inevitably, just rolled up bits of lead. So I'm sure they were for a purpose, maybe to fill a gap or something like that. I don't know, and I guess we'll never know. But I'm not going to unfold this one. I'm going to leave it with a little bit of mystery, although we probably know that there's nothing in there. And I'm going to put them back in my cabinet because actually I do like lead finds, and you know, the having that and that next to each other, I think once this dries out will be quite cool. So yeah, I'm going to keep them. So that's been a really interesting experiment. If you like me, you like your lead finds and you like to know a bit more about the history of lead and what it was used for and some of the wonderful lead artifacts that people find, go along to Robbie Cole, the Dinnington Detector. I'm going to put a link to the video in question in the description of this video. Robbie's a dear friend of mine. He's been a supporter of my channel right from the start, and most of you, I'm sure, will know Robbie. Absolutely fantastic guy. Has always offered me loads of support and guidance throughout my time. And he's done a really great video recently, like me, not been able to get out with the weather, and actually talks a lot more about the kind of history of lead and some of the artifacts that he's found with, you know, in lead that he's been digging over the years. So yeah, that's it. So our Roman curse tablets are simply not Roman curse tablets, sadly. But it was a bit of fun. And remember, boys and girls, it's just a bit of fun. I was just intrigued to know what they might be. I hope you've enjoyed this relatively short video, and you've learned a little bit more about lead and curse tablets. They're going to go back in the cabinet, as I've said. I've got no problem with them. I think they're very cool, nonetheless. Don't forget to go along and watch Robbie Cole's video. And if you like what you see, make sure you drop him a sub if you're not already subscribed to him. Thanks as always for stopping by. Hopefully the next one is going to be me back out on the field. I think the weather is looking like it's going to start to slowly improve. We're now moving into March, so spring is on its way and all that entails. So yeah, in the meantime, stay cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.